Our first blind item is about Kanye West. It reads, this former A-list rapper's assistant was arrested trying to smuggle drugs into a country for the rapper, which I can't imagine getting arrested for, my boss. I've said it before and I've said it again. I will not commit a crime because I will not go and eat that prison food. Shout out to all the prisoners out there. I don't know, a shout out to you, but the food's rough. I recognize it. This comment reads, Japan doesn't mess around with drugs, guns, or immigration. And that's exactly where Kanye has been hanging out. Actually, I will be in Tokyo in December for my birthday. But yeah, they don't mess around over there.
That's right, Kanye. It's all love. Keep doing your thing, brother. Can I take a little quick one with you?
And we've covered extensively on how Kanye has gotten addicted to the happy gas, the laughing gas, nitrous oxide. Look at me over here acting like a chemist. But Kanye hasn't seen his children in about 47 days, a month and a half. He's now in Japan with his wife, Bianca Censori. You guys know they have been on the rocks lately. They were out and about hanging out with a model named Luca. Kanye was, of course, swarmed by fans. And for once, it seems like Bianca had clothes on. I mean, I wish I had like a bell, a button or something, because Bianca wore clothes for the first time. I mean, gosh, she probably felt so warm. I actually kind of like seeing Bianca wearing clothing. I mean, it makes me like take her a little bit more seriously, or at least it makes it seem like she has some control over her life because Kanye is not parading her around like an object. Now, we did see this report that Kim Kardashian felt like she was a single mother, and now it's all kind of making sense. Remember, a source shared that Kim was pretty much a single mom and that Kanye is not around often. Although she has help, it's still a lot of work for her to balance and coordinate everything. It looks like Kim is not even focusing on dating anymore. It's all about work and the kids. And you guys have to admit, I mean, it seems like Kim is coming out with a new brand every week. She's got an acting gig. She's becoming a lawyer. Is she still becoming a lawyer? I don't know. I feel like Kanye is trying to move to Japan before all of this crap comes out about him and his friendship with Diddy. We all know that his assistant, Lauren, has been accused of doing horrific things, but also has accused Kanye of doing things to her as well, including drugging and R-wording her. Some fans think that he's hiding out in Japan during this scandal as he works on his new album. Meanwhile, Kim Kardashian hasn't cooked for her children in nearly 2 years. She sat down and interviewed Northwest for an interview magazine, which it seems like they're really trying to push North as the next celebrity child.
Kim asked North how'd she like her cooking, and North spilled all the tea and said, you haven't cooked for us in a long time. Ooh. Last time you cooked was 2 Halloweens ago. Wow. Then went on to reveal Kim made fried chicken, mac and cheese, and cornbread. The only thing Kim could respond with was, I'm a one-trick pony.
Could you imagine eating out every day?
You eat out every day, don't you?
Well, yeah, but I'm grown. You gotta cook for your children. That's child abuse. I don't cook. I might cook once a year. If I don't cook, I eat cereal and milk for dinner. Don't tell me y'all don't eat cereal and milk for dinner. Yeah, honey, you eat your cereal and milk.
One of my biggest pet peeves are when Nepo babies or trust fund kids are out here in LA and they just don't know how to work. This blind item is about Armie Hammer, who is exactly that. The cleaning actor still likes to pretend he is poor. He also obviously has zero idea about rent-controlled apartments in LA and how they work, which, don't trigger me. Reminds me of my last apartment before I bought my place. Rent was like $4,000 a month, and guys, I was definitely trying to go on the cheaper end. It's expensive out there. This comment reads, Armie Hammer comes from an absolutely privileged background, and here he is pretending to be poor. Is this not a form of cultural appropriation? Which, is that a thing? Like, could people like misappropriate, or like, yeah, would it be misappropriating like wealth status, like SES? So yeah, acting like you're poor when you're not. That's such a... I feel like there's more of the vice versa. You act like you're rich when you're not. You're living above your means, especially talking about LA. I don't know why I'm talking about LA, but it's just... it's a zoo out here. This person commented he is so poor he can't afford food and had to eat his landlord. Now, I don't know about that. Let's not go ahead and talk about the cannibalism rumors, which is why they brought that up. But Armie Hammer fans doubt that he can't afford gas anymore due to his family's staggering net worth. Armie Hammer revealed to his fans on Tuesday that he's selling his truck and can't afford gas anymore. But some expressed their doubt over the disgraced actor's claims. He jumped onto his Instagram page before his 38th birthday to explain that he purchased a tiny hybrid vehicle due to being unable to afford his truck, which honestly, no shame on that. Like, I love my Volkswagen moment. I think it's great. Like, I don't need a big flashy car. I think people need to be more comfortable with just driving like a normal car. not these like crazy things. Although I think the Teslas look super cool. Comment below if you guys have a Tesla, because like the robot of it all, just I would love to not have to physically drive when I'm in the car. Now, Army hasn't been working in Hollywood since these allegations were raised against him, and he told his fans that he got this new tiny car because he's just going broke. How much is Armie Hammer's family worth? ChatGPT, TC, what do you have to say? $180 million. Wait, stop. $180 million, please. And this guy posted a video saying that he just can't afford his gas. Wow.
My truck. I bought this for myself in 2017 as a Christmas gift for myself, because I've had pickup trucks for a long time, and I have loved this truck intensely and taken it camping and across country multiple times on long road trips. And I took it for one last road trip. I'm selling my truck. Since being back in LA, I have put about $400 or $500 worth of gas in it, and I can't afford it. That's okay. I got a new car. It's tiny. It's a hybrid. I'm probably gonna put about 10 bucks of gas in it a month, and this is it.
Maybe part of the reason is his own doing. Maybe his family cut him off because he's a cannibal. He was actually doing pretty well in Hollywood up until these allegations came out in 2021. Armie Hammer's money comes from his grandfather, who was worth $800 million at the time of his death, and it looks like he had something to do with petroleum. One person tweeted, Armie Hammer of the wealthy Hammer family wants me to believe he can't afford gas. Armie Hammer, the abuser, wants me to care, which are two very valid questions. Another person wrote, you come from a millionaire family. I'm confused. Another person asked, isn't he part of the Hammer dynasty? I mean, the super rich Hammer dynasty? Another person asked, how is that possible? You've made millions from this. Did you not invest your money? Another person wrote, he should beg his rich family for forgiveness and get that inheritance money, which I would probably be doing the same thing. I mean, I just can't imagine being a cannibal. I mean, I'm already kind of weird when it comes to meat. Aren't you guys? Like, if the chicken is not perfectly white, if it's a little bit pink, I'm freaked out. I've gotten better when it comes to like eating steak, like medium rare, but you know, it's hard. So I can't imagine eating like you as a human watching me. Ew, I don't even want to think about it. But if you do eat meat, I feel like if you put a little bit of that ranch seasoning, dried ranch seasoning on me, is how I'd want to be served. Oh, maybe a little balsamic glaze. That's how you, that's okay. Let's move on. At the height of Armie Hammer's abuse and cannibalism scandal, a source told People that the star was selling timeshares in the Cayman Islands because he needs the money. He got another job. I actually think that his family set up this job for him in the Cayman Islands so that he could go and work and kind of be punished. Now, this social media post isn't the first time that he has proclaimed his brokenness. He went onto a podcast and said that he's actually happier with less money. But again, when you come from a family like that, they will never put you out on a street. You don't have to actually worry about groceries or gas that week.
I'm now at a place in my life where I'm grateful for every single bit of it. At the time, I think this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. But when I look at it now with a sense of perspective, and albeit a much healthier perspective, I'm able to look at things like, for the last couple of years, I've taken my kids to school every single day.
There is something going on when it comes to addiction. I feel like maybe when the weather changes, like, you know, things happen. This is about Justin Timberlake. He's supposedly in rehab, short and sweet. If you guys have not seen my video about his relationship with his wife, Jessica, definitely go and check that out, because he hasn't been the best husband. I mean, opposed to him struggling with addiction, which is a disease, he's also done things like cheating, which aren't acceptable. This comment reads, Justin Timberlake had his own Diddy like tapes. Another comment reads, is this about Justin Timberlake and the fallout from his DUI? Another question, can rehab actually make him a better person? And then finally, this person added, I almost think it can't be, because with him, he's too arrogant to admit that he has a problem. Now, Mystic MC brought up the fact that his eyes have been looking wild. I mean, you guys know the world tour had to go on, and while he was finishing up, it seems like he was maybe not in a great place. Let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, hell. Wait, he kind of looks like a Persian cat. Even that girl, look at her face. She's looking at his facial expression. She's like, what in the demon? Moving on to the rehab stint, because it looks like Justin Timberlake is trying to heal his relationship with Jessica Biel after his DWI arrest. Now, a source said that Justin's trying to do everything he can to stay on Jessica's good side because, quote, just because Justin is committed to the marriage doesn't mean that Jessica's not still struggling with a lot of trust issues. It's going to take a while for them to re-sizzle back because she's still very wary of him, which I feel like that's a worse place to be in a relationship when you just cannot trust the person. You don't really want to be around them. Like at that point, I'd rather just get out of it. You guys know he was arrested. He's 43 years old, arrested in Sag Harbor, New York because he was drunk. He actually walked away with a $500 fine and 25 hours of community service, which I would like to see if he actually does that community service. A lot of people get away with not doing it. The scandal made headlines and Jessica was not happy about it, emphasizing that she enjoys her privacy. So this kind of scandal puts all eyes on their marriage. It looks like Justin Timberlake is scrambling. I mean, the Britney book situation, now with this, he's still very tightly wound and stressed over what happened. Even if he's on his best behavior, there's a kind of awkwardness and a tension around him that doesn't really make for a very romantic and sexy night together with his missus.
When Justin Timberlake was pulled over by that 24-year-old cop for a DWI, he was wrong. Getting pulled over for a DWI was not going to ruin the tour. This will ruin the tour. Sir, I am going to ask you a question that you guys have been asking Miss Britney Spears for a long time. Are you okay?
Are you okay, Justin? This source says that he's tired a lot as well because, you know, the tour is taking a lot out of him. They, as a couple, tried to do a big romantic date night for their 12th anniversary. She went to visit him in Montreal on tour, and there were very big expectations. Oh, shit. But apparently it fell flat because of a lot of emotional issues that came up. It wasn't very carefree and sexy, not what he was banking on. So I could totally see where they are in their relationship. They're in this really tough point where they can't just sit down and enjoy dinner. They need to talk through things because it's also built up. As you guys know, he got in trouble a couple years ago drinking with a co-star and getting pretty handsy. He had to issue a public apology for this. The source acknowledges that Justin's got a lot more work to put in to heal their relationship before they can get back to where they were once before. He's got to prove that he's grown from this and genuinely someone that she can trust, which, do you think he even has that desire to really do that? I mean, you would hope so, that he, one, loves her that much to do that, but then two, to keep their family together. Mr. Beast and Ava Chris Tyson. Let's get into it. It appears the A-list social media star was up to his eyeballs in all of the grooming that was going on by one of his employees. Wait, the social media star was up to his eyeballs? So does that mean he was like fully aware, I'm guessing? Mr. Beast has a lot of problems to deal with, and one that he does not want to deal with is Ava Chris Tyson, one of his former employees who actually transitioned from a male to a female, now a transgender woman. And there were allegations that they were doing horrific things behind the scenes. Well, it looks like Mr. Beast has taken this into his own hands. Now, Ava appeared in Mr. Beast's videos, which has over 305 million subscribers on YouTube. Well, it looks like Mr. Beast shared the investigation findings into Ava Chris Tyson's alleged behavior and found there was nothing. Now, Quinn Emanuel was hired to conduct this investigation. He conducted 39 interviews with current and former employees and reviewed over 4.5 million documents. I know Rosanna Pisano is all over this. Mr. Beast writes, a 3-month investigation into allegations regarding my company has concluded. The law firm and investigators reviewed millions of documents and messages and conducted 39 interviews. I was asked to refrain from making public statements to enable a detailed and unbiased investigation. Below are their conclusions. So I guess this is why he's been silent for 3 months, and he wanted to make sure that everything was impartial. Ava was accused for developing a relationship with a minor online beginning when the person was 13 and they were 20. The minor who is in question actually rebutted the grooming allegations, but nonetheless, they took off.
The alleged victim also defended her, saying the claims were massive lies and that they had never been exploited or taken advantage of. Tyson, who came out as transgender last year, has been a regular presence on the Mr. Beast channel since it launched in 2012. She expressed regret over her past behavior, saying, "I have learned that my old humor is not acceptable," but maintained she never groomed anyone. The alleged victim also stated that the accusations were completely false, adding, "I was not groomed. These were false allegations made up by other people with my name thrown in them."
Now, it is fascinating when someone who's like being set up to be like a victim is actually speaking in, you know, good faith on the person that is the, I guess, the perpetrator. It's a complicated situation. I don't know if I've seen this play out before. Lava GS is this person who was speaking to Ava Chris Tyson. They were quoted saying, "It was incredibly difficult to have my name thrown around in the public forum without being given the opportunity to share the truth. Thankfully, the people doing the investigation actually did reach out and gave me the opportunity to tell the truth, which I very much appreciated." Now, rest in peace, Richard Simmons. Our blind item reads, "They didn't care about this A-list celebrity when he was alive, but sure are greedy for his money after death. That is why they are going after the housekeeper who did nothing wrong." Now, I can't be the only one who felt like Richard Simmons' death was very abrupt. I mean, he was gone for a while, then active on Twitter, and then just gone forever. Let's get into this housekeeper situation. Richard Simmons' brother, Leonard Simmons, slammed his longtime housekeeper, Teresa, for allegedly taking $1 million worth of Richard's jewelry, including other valuable pieces from the home like fine art. Teresa claimed that she was once Richard's closest friend when he passed away on July 13th at the age of 76. Teresa said that Richard actually named her and Leonard as co-trustees of his trust, so she's kind of entitled to this estate as much as his brother Leonard is. His housekeeper was more than a housekeeper. It was a friend, someone who he confided in, hung out with, who he locked himself in with in this mansion just away from the public. So I think she was closer to him than his brother actually ever was, which is kind of sad that now the brother is trying to rip her off of money that he wanted her to have.
Why did Richard Simmons refuse to leave a cent for his family, yet intended to give $60 million to his housekeeper? The fitness star unexpectedly passed away in 2024, and the dispute over his estate continues to this day. Shockingly, Richard listed his housekeeper, Teresa Reveles, as a primary beneficiary, intending for her to manage the $60 million estate. Although Richard and Teresa had been friends for nearly 40 years, his disregard for his family has drawn significant media attention. Richard's decision faced strong opposition from his family. According to Teresa, they pressured her in various ways to abandon her inheritance. Under pressure, Teresa ultimately declined to serve as a co-trustee. Her lawyer found this unacceptable and filed a petition, claiming Teresa renounced her inheritance involuntarily, as she was emotionally vulnerable and unaware of the situation's gravity. Additionally, the lawyer requested that Richard's family be prohibited from selling any of his assets and from profiting off his name and likeness.
So Richard Simmons' death was unexpected, and when his brother started to go after Teresa, she couldn't handle it. She said, "Remove my name. I don't want to deal with this. I'm grieving over his loss." She didn't see it coming. Teresa pleaded for an emergency hearing into the matter because she wanted to go back on what she said. She wanted to be a co-trustee because that's what Richard wanted her to be. She said that she was coerced and fraudulently induced to sign paperwork that removed her as a co-trustee. Her motion read, "During the final years of his life, Richard unequivocally cut ties with the manager because he was exploiting Richard's celebrity without proper authorization and compensation. In fact, Richard stated that he would rather die than participate in another project with him." On top of that, she said that Richard's brother had plans to sell Richard's personal property. Teresa was supposed to have a say when it came to Richard's things, and because she was removed, she can't do anything. So they're trying to quickly get her back into it so that she could protect what Richard wanted, because it seems like his brother is just going to go and sell everything and move to the Bahamas. Now, I don't think Teresa saw Richard's death coming, but we knew that he wasn't in a good place, and I don't know if she had the authority to go and try to help him. I mean, he wasn't keen on seeing a doctor, so he really was just declining and probably paranoid to leave his home.
We're learning more about the shocking death of Richard Simmons. He reportedly wasn't feeling well on Friday. Simmons thought he had food poisoning. At some point, he felt dizzy and fell in the bathroom.
His housekeeper reportedly wanted to take him to a doctor after he fell in his bathroom here at his home in Los Angeles, but Simmons refused because it was his 76th birthday and he didn't want to be away from home. According to published reports, he went to bed early.
Could the reclusive fitness star's death have been prevented? Neurologist Leah Kroll says no fall should be taken lightly.
Sometimes people fall out of the blue or out of nowhere, and that can be a problem related to the heart.
Simmons' publicist tells Inside Edition he had not seen his doctor in 6 years. He says the cause of death was due to a heart incident.
Our next blind item is about Camila Cabello. It reads, the foreign-born illiterate singer puked all over the inside of her car as she was driven home after a drunken party. And I'm pretty sure this was Kendall Jenner's Halloween bash. This person commented, I pity the person who has to clean that up. Another person added, she was a hot mess falling down. And that she was, so let's get into it. Camila Cabello looks worse for wear as she takes a tumble in her sexy bunny costume after leaving Kendall's party. Now, they were all at the Chateau Marmont, and you know, Camila's a hard worker, so I like to see her out here having fun. They were like walking through a curb, kind of like in a weird area. I don't know if they were trying to avoid the paparazzi, but they did quite the opposite. They ended up falling around and everything was captured. Let's go ahead and react to this footage together. Okay, hold up. So we've got an abrupt fall right here, and then we've got Camila bunny ears off. Friend, who is her friend? Comment below, guys. I know you guys probably already know. But we see Camila getting, trying to get up. Is she really that drunk? I'm surprised. Oh my gosh. I'm surprised she doesn't even have a friend to help her. Her hair looks great. So it looks like the security is starting to step in. Please, because I feel like they were just going to continue falling all over each other. Oh. Wow, can you imagine if she started puking here? At least she saved it for the car. They're losing things. Falling all over. Now, keep in mind, this comes days after Shawn Mendes opened up about his orientation, his sexuality, which I feel like, didn't we know this, guys? He said, there's this thing about my sexuality and people have been talking about it for so long, which he has also been talking about it for so long. He's constantly said that he is straight. So now that he's saying something different, people are paying attention, especially the boys. Troye Sivan, keep an eye out for Troye Sivan.
The real truth about my life and my sexuality is that, man, I'm just figuring it out like everyone, and I don't really know sometimes, and I know other times, and it feels really scary.
No, that's great for Shawn. Don't be scared, Shawnee Boo. This article reads that Shawn jumped to the defense of his closest friend Camila after she suffered backlash from fans during their relationship. He said he gets frustrated at speculation that they are, quote, against each other in a weird way, telling his fans that he was trying to be really brave. The singer revealed that he was still figuring it out when it comes to his beautifully complex sexuality. He has since addressed his relationship with Camila, who he dated between 2019 through 2021, saying that she's still the first person that he would call in a crisis, which I'm glad Shawn has that support system. He told the New York Times, I have nerves even just speaking about it. It's just what people would say. But honestly, if something was to happen to my family and if something was to happen to me, she'd probably be the first person I'd call to this day. Let's talk about Jessica Simpson and Eric Johnson. The former A-list singer, sometimes actress's husband, is definitely not sober, which I thought Jessica was like 5 years sober. I may be misquoted, but it looks like that's one of the main issues in their marriage. His love of other women is probably another. Oh, shit. I really thought this singer-actress was California sober, but maybe she counts that as being sober. It actually turns out that Jessica is allegedly 7 years sober, which good for her. This comment reads, this is about Jessica Simpson and her husband. All the articles talk about her getting sober in 2017, and he has straight up disappeared. A new chick makes sense. Either he wants to go public and is over the charade, or maybe he wants to marry this one, which would explain the slow drip in their inevitable breakup announcement. Another person added, maybe he's got to drink a woman off of his mind. Maybe she's got to drink his woman off of her mind. Which that is such a sad family dynamic if that's the truth. I love Jessica Simpson. I've been a fan ever since I was a little boy. So I want her to be happy. This headline reads, Jessica Simpson celebrates 7 years of sobriety. Cheers, amid rumors of marital turmoil. Oh no. So Jessica made an Instagram post to celebrate her sobriety. But this article reads that she is headed towards a divorce after 10 years of marriage to her husband, Eric. She and Eric, a former football player, tied the knot back in 2014, and they have 3 children together. Max, Birdie, and Ace, which I love the name Birdie. Lately, she has been spotted not wearing her wedding ring, and she hasn't shared any photos with her husband in over a year. She actually skipped his birthday post in September, which had been part of her tradition for a decade. So there's something going on, people. The Keeping Up podcast broke down this situation on their show. Here's a clip of them talking about it.
Firstly, in all the pictures, that she has shared of herself on socials over the past 3 or 4 months, she hasn't been wearing her wedding or engagement ring. Now, I know this isn't a huge thing. Sometimes people just don't wear them, no matter how happy they are, but this is Jessica Simpson. She loves her jewelry, she loves her bling, she loves showing off that she's married, so this is definitely unusual for her. Another thing, she hasn't uploaded a photo of Eric to her socials since April this year, and all that was a big group shot of the extended family for their Easter celebrations. Last year, she posted a beautiful tribute to Eric for his 44th birthday in September. This year, she didn't post a thing to wish him a happy birthday. He would have been 45 years old in September and not one post for him. Instead, on his birthday, she reposted a clip of a pastor by the name of Timberlake delivering a speech about forgiveness. The clip said, "Forgiveness doesn't change the person who hurt you. Are you listening to me? Forgiveness doesn't change that person. Forgiveness changes you."
Now, the pair were last seen together in June for their daughter Birdie's graduation. Eric has been a supportive husband when it comes to Jessica going sober. An insider claimed that she'll always be grateful, but she's changed a lot of her thinking and priorities since then. Lately, Jessica has been reevaluating her happiness, her marriage, and her business empire as she's ready to start fresh. It's pretty much over between her and Eric. It's only a matter of time before she files for a divorce. They tried couples counseling, which worked for a while, but then things got back to the way they were. They don't spend nearly as much time together as they used to, and they've grown apart, which, how do you grow apart when you have 3 young children? That doesn't make sense to me. Unless they're living completely like different lives in different homes. Jess and Eric have had some really difficult conversations, including pulling the plug on their relationship. She wants to grow her empire to the next level and has been inspired by Kim Kardashian. Wow. The source says that she admires the billionaire fashion mogul and Skims founder, who I guess North is very close with Jessica's daughter, Maxwell. She likes Kim because she's put her own 4 divorces behind her and she's now thriving as a single mom and businesswoman, and Jessica wants to be that. Now, this blind item is really disturbing. Multiple people have reported this former teen mom to the FBI for distributing child porn. And this is about Farrah Abraham. Now, Farrah has always rubbed me the wrong way. There's something icky about her. I mean, keep in mind, she's been glorifying the worst things since the beginning of her entertainment career. She actually recently bought her daughter a cyber truck, which is ridiculous. I mean, what are you selling? Because I don't think Farrah is bringing in this kind of money. That's hell of a first car, and it looks like her daughter Sophia got her first pick, which honestly, I mean, Sophia has been exploited her entire life, so at least she's now getting the money that she was forced to make. I feel like driving on a Tesla for your first car, you're not even going to know how to work a normal car. But it looks like Sophia, Farrah's daughter, is going to customize the chrome car with her quote own aesthetic. Really? This is ridiculous. It looks like it's about $123,000 for this car, which is a big difference from the 2009 Dodge Neon that she used to drive when she was featured on Teen Mom.
Why do you want to drive?
Summer 2024, Sophia's driver's ed.
Who, what, when, where, why?
Petco to get mice for my snakes.
Sophia is doing her parent-taught driver's ed. It is today. It is now. Sophia is 15. And I like that you're measuring up the seating and your legs. Can your legs even hit the pedals?
No, they can't.
I don't see it on there. Is it on there? She's going to be turning 16 and getting her driver's license shortly. First day of driver's ed starts now. Wow. Maybe you should play that with that back and forth a couple times so you can get comfortable.
That is insane. I'm so over whatever that is. I don't even feel like that's not like the new generation either, because Farrah's like old. I'm just kidding. She's not old, but I feel like that would be something she would like, oh, she heard that. She'd be like, he called me old. Yeah, I did. But I want to hear what you guys are, what have you guys been up to? I want to hear what you guys been up to in the comments below. Do you guys know I've actually been posting this show on Spotify? If you guys go onto Spotify, you could actually watch Blind Item Breakdown. I'm going to try to put it out there first because I'm trying to build a following on Spotify, just because if I do, I could potentially go on tour. You guys see a lot of your favorite creators go on tour. I've got a few different things in the works, and if this can do well, I could use this as a segment to do while I'm on tour, little blind items, and have maybe people come in different towns. And I don't want to give away too much because we're not even there yet, but if you guys can go and support it, I will have the comments pinned below. I would be incredibly grateful, or it will be in the description if there's a sponsor here. I don't think there will be, though. Sponsors are a little slow, but you guys are the best. Thank you so much for everything. And you guys really did turn out on reviewing the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and that just means so much to me. You guys have no idea. It really could help me just do more with what we have on here. And you guys know I love to work and put out content and just give you guys something to watch so you don't feel so alone at home. At least that's why I started watching YouTube. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.